I would like to introduce our next speaker, Agustín Speziale. He will be presenting around the World Cup 2022 analysis of the impact on the internet traffic and utilization. Agustín is responsible for peering strategy at Syrian Technologies, and he's coming to us today from Buenos Aires, Argentina. This is Agustín's first time presenting at NANOG, and it's a pleasure to have him here speaking with us today. Welcome, Agustín.
Green one? Okay. Okay, thank you for the presentation. Let's start with the analysis that we have for share with all of you. First of all, yes, I'm going to talk about the FIFA World Cup, and this is not specifically the FIFA World Cup, but I will use a few slides to illustrate the problem that we are facing, or the things that happened during the FIFA World Cup that were specifically unexpected. Okay, if you know him, he's Manu Ginóbili. He's an Argentinian basketball player, but he used to play in the San Antonio Spurs since 2003 until a little bit more than 2016. During all those years, he won 4 NBA World Championships, and the way they do the parade, the celebration, was quite simple. If we were used to seeing him celebrate, it was along the river in a boat, and everyone has. The city doesn't need more protocols or needed more specification to the people. Just the people put all around the river and celebrate and see his champions going by with the celebration. That happened in the first time that we could see, and in the last time in 2014 that they won. During all those times in Argentina, we became fans of San Antonio Spurs. This is part of the presentation because probably Messi made some of the records that we will see regarding the usage of some applications in internet. But that happened, it was quite simple. What happened in the case of Return Home with a victory parade in New York? This is the last time the Giants won the NFL Super Bowl. The protocol is not the same than with a river, but they could, the city could handle a little bit the parade, putting some fences, and the champions start crossing with the bus, and everyone were celebration. Here, the media says an estimated of 1 million fans pack the Big Apple Street because of the NFL. Okay, 1 million fans, New York, could handle the protocols, could handle everything went well. But what happened when the passion of the reality overcame, collapsed the reality, like the thing that happened in Buenos Aires in the return home from the champions in 2022? Well, if you can see the pictures below, the highway was all collapsed by people walking on the highway, but the highway wasn't closed. The avenues were all collapsed with people walking. They wanted to see the champions. You can see the bus there. Everything was really unexpected and difficult to handle for the government. So they had to evacuate the world champions using helicopters back to their home, okay? Well, if this happened in the reality, right now we can see what is going, or what was going on after or during the World Cup in the network. So let's take a look in the network, and what kind of records can we see? Well, the first record, I don't know if you saw it, but the CEO of Google say that seems like everyone after 25 years were talking or searching about one thing, okay? That happened in the internet. Everyone were looking about FIFA World Cup during the final that was Argentina versus France. Other thing that also happened, record is Lionel Messi included his picture of his first picture with the cup, and he apparently broke a record regarding an egg in Instagram that has a record of the most liked picture. Where apparently in a few hours he broke the record, and after that he passed too much. And also there were several million messages per second during the final using WhatsApp. That is one of the tools that in LATAM we use the most. So this is one of the records. The other thing that is important here in NANOG, for example, is probably you might think that football or soccer for you could be an interested topic for North America, but you can see that United States was the fourth country that tweeted the most during the FIFA World Cup integrally. Not only the final, the whole FIFA World Cup. Elon Musk mentioned some amount of tweets per second that passed during the World Cup, and mentioned like they were the highest of the World Cup, not a record in Twitter itself, but at least in terms of the World Cup. So other information that Twitter included in his report is the amount of impressions regarding the World Cup. This is related with the first slide when I mentioned Manu Ginóbili and Argentina basketball fans of the Spurs. Well, Lionel Messi was the most talked player, so probably this is a global phenomenon. Not only Argentinians were fans of Messi and wanted Messi to win the cup more than Argentina to win the cup, so probably that made this kind of records. These next two slides are from FIFA. They made a report, a complete report with a lot of information about the FIFA World Cup, but I took two because those are related with this analysis. The first one that I included an arrow there is, if you can see the USA, they declare that 26 million watches the FIFA World Cup during the whole competition. But if you can see the last bottom, Argentina only got 12 million viewers. So for us, all the street collapsed. It's only 12 millions, and here could be smaller comparing with other sports, but it was huge compared with Argentina. The other digital cases that FIFA also reports in his report, these two slides are from them. I left all the sources in the last slides. One is regarding TikTok. They had a record in the history of records with the hashtag FIFA World Cup, and another case is about gamings that were played in Facebook, for example, or how the amount of engaged happened between the last FIFA World Cup that was in Russia than the actual 2022 FIFA World Cup that happened in Qatar. And going inside Qatar and now more near our language, more near the service providers, this is the report from Ooredoo, that is the mobile phone service provider there in Qatar after the FIFA World Cup. They say that more than 500 terabytes of mobile data has been used. If you are a service provider or mobile service provider from Atlanta, take care of this information. They say that, well, part of that traffic were through the Wi-Fi that was used near the stadiums and that stuff. Okay, there are a lot of traffic also there. they mention a part of that traffic happened through the 5G network that they already have, and most of the traffic also through the 4G network speed. And also the amount of users that use the roaming they offer as a service during the World Cup in the whole event. So for them, this is a record-breaking data traffic, so this is important to be aware of how the impact of this is going into the network. No? All those people in the street, well, here they are in the network. And right now, I will focus on Latin America, where the company that I work, Sirion, has the fiber and the information, so it's the information I can have. But get ready, North America, because it's going to be interesting also for you. First of all, for all those that are not aware about Latin America, specifically, Latin America comes from Mexico to Argentina. This map is from the network that Sirions have, the cable, but most of the cables probably look the same. Probably some companies has in the Atlantic, some in the Pacific, some in both, so in our case it's in both. Latin America could include what we in geography understand as North America, that is Mexico. No? Mexico is geographically North America, but in the business, corporations and organizations is included in Latin America, and I guess in the NANOG also, because they participate in the LACNIC meetings most than I see here. Well, the FIFA World Cup is important for Latin America, probably more than other countries, because it's a way to achieve the richness or the goals for the have have a better style of life. If you play well in football, you don't need to study. Probably there is another solution to get a change on your status, social status. So probably that made every kid around the Latin America playing football when they are kids. Which countries of the tournament in America in general participate? Well, we will see that, and I will only focus on the countries that participated in Latin America. The impact on the traffic, we will see that, and also get ready, North America. The countries that participated related with America completely were the States. I hope you saw the States, the 3 matches, I guess, they play. Canada, the second time they participate. The first one was in 1986. But the other countries from Latin America were Argentina, Brazil, Ecuador, Uruguay, and Mexico. Regarding Uruguay, as long as we don't have fiber there, I don't have much to show regarding the traffic analysis, but I will tell you some curiosities about Uruguay regarding the organization of the network or the organization of the information of the network regarding Uruguay. Well, Mexico first, this is the fiber, the inner fiber, the terrestrial one, helps us to understand how the population also is distributed in the country. And specifically, I used in all the slides the Doing Business rank. Is a rank that is made by a non-profit organization just to help me to explain easily how easy or not is to make or how good or not is to make business in Latin America in each of those countries. Specifically for these 4 countries, Mexico is the first one, so it's the best ranked in this ranking. Also, the link for this rank is in the slide, last slide. The population of Mexico is almost around 130 million people, and the estimated amount of users is 9 million people. we took residential people as users and also the mobile phones user as user itself. So that gives us 90 million users. But the particular case here is as long as the way that they were releasing the telecommunications monopoly and opening the market, we can see still is very concentrated in only 260 ASNs that shows as ISP. Another particular case in Mexico that you can see in the north of the map, where we don't have fiber. Also, most of the ASNs that are ISPs in the north of Mexico are ASNs that are not interconnected with other ASNs in Mexico itself. They go to North America, and from there they interconnect to the internet. The country code top-level domain is .mx, but they also have their own network information center. They assign the IPs like ARIN do it here, and but also report to our regional register, that is LACNIC, and LAC means Latin American and Caribe. This is the analysis for the report that I saw. Mexico played only 3 matches in the FIFA World Cup. I took one peer example. I didn't see specifically something extraordinary regarding the customers or the peers that we have in Mexico to see regarding the traffic, but at least an average of 50% of peaks and 100% during one of the matches. Okay, not yes at the beginning, but not in general. Most used probably the network for the usage of or watching the World Cup. Regarding Uruguay, well, as I mentioned, I don't have statistics from here, but they played 3 matches and they went back home. They didn't qualify. Particularly, Uruguay has what we know as the home of internet for Latin American and Caribbean, okay, where LACNIC, that is our rear, works. Also, there are another international organizations around internet like ICANN or Internet Society that are located there, and other organizations like Red Clara or like TLD, etc., that probably are more focused or specific for Latin America itself. So the population in Uruguay is only less than 4 million, and the doing business rank is 101. The most particular here is the House of Internet and the Latin American and Caribbean. The other country that participated was Ecuador. Here we can see something regarding the traffic, but in particular Ecuador has 2 main cities. One is Quito, that is in the heights, and the other one is Guayaquil, that is near the coast. So the most populated cities are those. So that's the reason we can see probably the network interconnected from Quito, but also going much to Guayaquil. So during the third match, during the third match, where they were, if they win, they were about to qualify for the next round. They didn't win. They lost versus Senegal. We had a peak of traffic about 100% during the whole match. Okay, during the whole match, we have a peak of 100%, and the match before versus Netherlands also we could saw the same. And if we see at the end of the peak, the diagram, we can see during the 18th of December, where the final was played by Argentina and France, also some peaks or usage of traffic related, but the highest peak is in the days they play. A big country in Latin America, as you know, is Brazil. They have lower rank than Mexico or Uruguay, for example, in the doing business, but they are healthy. The population is over 2 million people. They have their own local registry, NIC-BR, and well, the country code top-level domain is .br. The amount of users estimated here is more than 150 million, so we can see that the relationship with the population in total is good. And also, here is something important that Steve, my headset, told me to remark here in red, that they has the double amount of ASNs than you have here in the United States. And regarding the FIFA World Cup, I took one customer example, and they play more matches because they qualify to the second and the third and the final quarters. But what happened here is during the match of Argentina against Croatia, we saw the peaks. They lost against Croatia, and the next match in the semi-final were against Croatia-Argentina, or could be Brazil-Argentina. So we can see something different only during the next match that they didn't play in the World Cup. Well, the case of Argentina, always the map is regarding the fiber that we have in Syrian, but it helps us to understand that, for example, in Patagonia, which is the south, only a few cities of the coast are probably interested to have our own fiber. Probably the government also expand fiber itself in those places where there are no companies with fiber right now. But to cross from the Pacific to the Atlantic, we do an inner country crossing between cities from Buenos Aires to Santiago de Chile, and then we cross to the Pacific. Well, we can see again a picture of Buenos Aires collapsed because of the fans, and we will see in a moment a few examples of traffic that really shows this amount of traffic. Well, the doing rank in Argentina is the worst for all those countries that participated. The country code top level domain is .r, and we have less than 1,000 ASNs in the whole country. Argentina won the World Cup. This is the amount of matches that they play. We are all happy because of Messi and Argentina also, but this is the most impacting case that we can see. The first two matches we play in the qualifying round, and in the third, that is the first that I put it there with Poland, it was the third match, and if we lost that match or if we go equal, we went out of the World Cup because we lost the first one versus Saudi Arabic. So if we lost that one, we will be out. And the other case is that match happened during a business day. Okay, and this customer, that is a customer, 2 or 3 months before the World Cup, started to sell by day its own platform to watch online if you have a mobile device. So they did it well, and they got a lot of traffic. If we see the first peak in the two links that we have with them, they generated an extra traffic of 550 gigabits only during the match. But we are not the only carrier for them, so probably they generated much more than this. And during the final against France, well, it's also a lot of traffic, but what could happen here is it was Sunday, probably everyone was at home not working. And also, if you watch online and you are and everyone is watching, probably someone that is hearing by radio or watching in another platform the match could say goal before you watch it on the TV. So you heard from another ones. So that's the reason could be a lower peak in the final, that it was amazing final. And also we have in Buenos Aires and some other cities an open TV, digital TV, that you with a antenna, very simple antenna, you can get the signal, so and it's faster than watching through the internet. So who's next? You know who's next? Okay, keep working, be ready, NANOG or North American Operation Group, because the next FIFA World Cup is going to happen here specifically in Atlanta also. So if you saw the Urdu statics of the mobile usage, the roaming, or all that stuff, well, it's going to be in Atlanta. So if you're a service provider here, get ready. We don't know if Messi is going to play or not. We don't know yet. We hope he will be with the he will be ready for play. He will be 39 years old by the 2026, but we hope he will play. Is this a shared World Cup between Canada, Mexico, and USA? So a few cities of Mexico, a few cities of Canada, and a lot of cities of the United States are going to be hosts of the next World Cup. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the presentation and enjoy the FIFA World Cup also.
Do we have any questions here, or do we have any remote questions? Nothing? Okay.
I have a flag of Messi, if you want. I will be in the coffee break. If you want, I can borrow you and you can take a picture with that.
Thank you, Agustín, for your presentation.